I have a question. See, in Dutch, they say, steek je vinger op. Or steek je vinger in de lucht. It means put your finger up. Put your finger in the air. It means you want to ask a question. In English, we say, raise your hand. I kind of like the finger because it's pointier. It's stronger. Power of this one little finger is more than we see at first glance. Imagine in a classroom, if I'm the teacher of, say, middle schoolers, 15-year-old boys and girls. What I see is mostly vague, foggy bubbles of blobby mass. Yet, when there's one student who raises her hand, what she does is break that bubble, and it shatters, and she becomes a finger. And I focus, and I see a finger, and a hand, and an arm, and a face, and a body, and a person. And I immediately have a connection with that human being, because she hasn't even asked the question yet. But she has her finger in the air. Already, we have a bond. Now, you might think, well, I'm not really the type to raise my hand in class, and I'm kind of shy. And, she's asking the question, why don't I'll let her do it, and I'll get the answer. It depends on your culture, too. I mean, in Russia, they say that the tallest blade of grass is the first one to get cut. And in Japan, they say the nail that keeps popping up will always be hammered down. Can't leave out the Dutch with tall things. They bring it over to the water, and they say, boven het maaiveld uitsteken, which means stand above the groundwater. Stand higher, out above the groundwater. Be the one blade of grass. Be the nail that sticks up. Be taller than the groundwater. So, I get it. Let's let her ask the question. We get the answer. Probably had the same question anyway. I mean, 7 plus 4 is 11. Got it. Thanks, girlfriend. We're all good. That works. I get it. That I'm completely in accordance. Yet the difference is when the questions are the ones that certain people have. And I could think of 2 people in particular who have a question that they really want to ask. It's something personal. It's something they've wanted to ask for a long time. It's sort of festering in their heart or in their mind. And they have this question, and it really needs to be asked by them. And one of them is, it starts with an M. Me. I'm scared. I'm scared to ask the questions. The other person begins with a Y. You. So you and me, we have questions. We absolutely have questions. I'm not going to let you off the hook saying you don't have a question. Everyone has a question. It depends on how personal it is and how strong it needs to get out. Now let's take a couple scenarios, because these questions, whether you ask them or not, can have an effect on the trajectory of your life for a shorter or longer period amount of time. Now, for example, we're on the train to Paris, and there's a couple seats open. Got 4 hours. I don't have a reservation. So it might or might not change the next 4 hours of my life when I ask, is that seat taken? I just need a connection with that person. However short, might turn into nothing. Might turn into something. You're at your work. You have a project that's yours. You really want it. And the scary thing is, if you don't ask it, she might ask it, your colleague might ask it. She doesn't know you have it because guess what? You haven't asked. All it takes is Sandra. Can we talk about the project I'm working on? A few minutes? All right. one last scenario in case you're still thinking, I'm just gonna let my colleague ask the question. It's my project still, I promise. Because I know there's a fear. ASK, 3 letters, boss, it's power. So that's fear. There's me, there's him, and there's her. I'm too scared to ask a question. Let's see how this is going to work out. Will you marry me? Can you see how you not asking that question is going to make things turn out a little differently than you had hoped? So what's the difference? How do we get it from the inside to the outside? How do we get it from something that's festering inside of us? We really want to know. That's not it. That's not the question. The question is not whether or not we have the question. We all have the question. We all have lots of questions. The difference is going to be your magical finger. The difference is going to be whether or not you break through that bubble. Whether you dare to risk being the first one to be cut off from the Russian blade, slammed down by the Japanese hammer, or taller than the Dutch groundwater, because you are going to dare to put your finger in the air